Greetings! Welcome to my channel, Ida the Intuitive. I'm Ida. How are you? How are you? So, I'm going to talk about the Hermit card today. That is what this video is going to be about. The Hermit card. But I feel like there's a song that is in my heart when I connected with my ancestors before starting. This song came through. And so I'm like, let me just sing it out really quick. If you might know it, you might not. And I'm likely to mess up the lyrics. Maybe I'm gonna bring this drum. Hold on. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, no, no. Almost made you love me. Almost made you cry. Almost made you happy, babe. Didn't I? Almost had you thinking you would turn around, but everybody knows almost doesn't count. Almost made something, yeah. Finally free, yeah. You found it in me, yeah. But you can't get to heaven, yeah. Half off the ground, and everybody knows almost doesn't count. And I can't keep on loving you 1 foot outside the door. I hear a funny hesitation of a heart that's never really sure. Crying if you're looking for more. But all that I could give you is what you came here for. I'm gonna find me somebody, yeah, who's not afraid to let go, yeah. I wanna know that I'll be that kind of man. You came real close, but every time you build me up, you only let me down. That's the way it goes, hey, yeah. Almost doesn't count. 1, but that's the way it goes. Almost doesn't count. 2, so that's the way it goes. Almost doesn't count. Almost doesn't count by Brandy. So I don't know, but that one came through. And I love that song. Yeah, I love that song. Wow, I love that song. So we're starting out on that note, but I hope you're doing okay today. I feel like that kind of fits in with the Hermit card, honestly. Kind of this feeling of like not really having the support that you feel like you need, right? Because these are just the realities of being alone. the realities of being single, being just a hermit, right? Think of it as like hermit crab, even like a crab in its shell by itself, very protected, very covered. And then we have the hermit here, right, with the cloaked, covered, in your own space, in your own thoughts, in your own energy, and on a path of discovery, of self-understanding that doesn't involve anybody else, right? It just involves you, and it can be a cold path. You know, I really just realized this right now about how he's walking through some snow. It's kind of like, it can be this lonely experience of having to just be comfortable alone, and whatever comes with that, right? And then also carrying the lamp of, that's like your only guidance. It's just like your own third eye guiding you through your own guidance that you're getting is the lamp, right? So like that own light carrying you through, and then this long staff. And to me, the staff kind of gives energy of like your power, but also something to lean on. To me, like something to hold you up, because the hermit, being in hermit mode, can be a rough, tough experience. And that's what I got with these notes as well. So I'm gonna get into that in a second. I hope you had a happy holiday too, because, sorry, like I like want to slide to the side. It's like, okay, but I hope you had a happy holiday, because something about this hermit card is making me feel like you maybe were alone on the holiday, or were having issues during the holiday. And the holiday can be such a triggering time already, right? Like it naturally is triggering. It naturally makes you think of your family, of your past, sometimes of good times that are no longer. I know, like for me, you know, that makes me think of just times with family when holiday was really good. You know, when it was popping, or when you were a kid and the gifts were just good, or like, you know, and everyone's experience is different, but it's just kind of like, sometimes it can put you in this nostalgic energy. And I feel like, honestly, that can be a part of the hermit mode too. Sometimes nostalgia, right? Like your own thoughts of the past and of what you remember. You know what's interesting? I also just noticed about this card that on this is the Tarot Nefertiti deck, also by Los Scarabeo. And I noticed this man has a little cut on his knee here. And I feel like, you know, the knees are ruled by Capricorn. So that makes me think of like, you know, Capricorn is hard work, kind of like being in this work energy. And Virgo and Capricorn energy, you know, both, those are like the two, I don't know why I want to say higher earth signs, but I'm just thinking it's like Taurus is the first, then Virgo, then Capricorn. So it kind of represents like the accumulation in a way. I hope that makes sense, the way I'm describing that. But so the cut on the knee to me is giving like that hard work of kind of like being on your knees, being in a position of just like, even prayer, right? Like just whatever with the knees, what the knees represent, kneeling, you know, or being in pain on your knees, or like, just that's what that kind of was giving to me when I was looking at that card. So let me just tell you what they mean, what the card means upright and reversed. Generally, upright, it represents soul searching, introspection, being alone, and inner guidance. And then when it comes out in reverse, it can represent isolation,
loneliness and withdrawal. So the reality is also, if you are a spiritualist, you might be in a position where you're asking God or asking your guidance, like, hey, I've been in hermit mode a long damn time. Like, I've been doing this a long time. Yeah. Where are my people at? Like, what's taking so long? Where are my peeps? And I think you can get so comfortable isolating yourself that you give up on trying to find those people. And here's what because I'm going to describe to you kind of also sometimes how hermit mode can come about. And that is where the pain can come in too. So I told y'all in the other one, in the Hierophant video I just did, about the right hand and the numbers also, really the numbers that I pull from the Lexicon Concordance website. Use it sparingly or use it wisely is what I'll say. But some of the things that came out with the Hierophant also came out with the Hermit when I was pulling some cards. And so, anywho, I don't know, but I did just want to share that because I'm noticing that right now. But so the first number I got was 555, stronger. So hermit mode does make you stronger. Hermit mode is essentially like a power up because it helps you really get to know yourself. And in some cases, it can be like your first hermit mode can be like very intense. It can be this thing of like, dang, like I really got to cut off like hella people out of my life, because if I continue to hang around these folk, it will destroy me, right? It will destroy me in some kind of way. Or that either it will destroy me or it just won't serve me anymore. Often I feel like that's what people say. These people aren't serving me anymore, which is, really just like, if it's harder to be around these people, if it's harder to like share energy with these people, then it could mean that maybe the connection just isn't there anymore, or that you just need time alone. Personally, for me, when I went into hermit mode, I just kind of like cut everybody off. Like, I'm just going to be honest and share my experience. I cut everybody off, deleted my whole ass Instagram and Facebook, and told my closest friends I really didn't want to be in contact anymore. And it was painful. It was honestly painful. I definitely like still miss some of those people in my life. But it was just this thing of like, while getting into tarot and kind of learning other things, I just had to like cut some folks off. My father, like just like a nice chunk of people that I was interacting with before. And so let me just continue. Then I got 5555. So first 3 5s, then 4 5s. And 5555 is the cliff of escapes, the cliff of divisions, where David escapes from Saul. So I believe that it was kind of a situation in the Bible where David had to like escape Saul and that they were at one point friends, but then something happened where there was like a disconnect between the two of them, right? And so he, at the cliff of divisions where they became divided and he had to escape from Saul, right? And so that's what made me think of like having to kind of escape from a situation or escape from certain people or just remove yourself from certain people. And so, you know, then you're alone. Then you're spending more time alone. Then you're thinking about why you decided to walk away from these folks in the first place. Do you regret it? There can be this guilt, this shame of like, damn, I used to be out. Me and my friends used to go out. Now I'm just alone all day. Now I'm just hanging out all day on the tablet or whatever. You know what I mean? And like, why did I do that? Like, you can even be asking yourself why. But it's just like, trust that guidance inside that you know why. You know why. Like, if you really once you've done it, you know why you did it. You know why you did it. Sometimes you know that you need to become a different person that those folks that you were hanging out with before will not understand or accept. That was a big part for me as well. That like, as I was getting into this knowledge, I had friends that just weren't quite into this knowledge. Or I had one that was, but like, it almost felt like me learning it and then us connecting to it together would not work. I don't know. Like, it didn't, I don't know. So, and it's not to blame them, and it's also really not to blame me, but it's like sometimes you just have to break away. So then I got 1532 barber, and that made me think it's almost like getting a haircut, you know? Like, you can have like all this beautiful long hair, but the reality is like, you always got to do a trim. You need a trim, right? Like, your hair gets dry at the ends. Sometimes it's just extra weight that needs to be trimmed down, right? And so hermit mode can be thought of as like a trim or a big chop, more so. However you decide, because sometimes it can just be for a little while. I feel like sometimes the first hermit mode is like feel like a big chop, or for like anyone who's natural or went from relaxed to natural, and then you cut off all the relaxed ends so that you can grow your natural hair out. That can be an example. So that's just what I felt like it was with barber. But then, okay, so this could be for I got something about an actual barber who's trying to escape hermit mode. I don't know, but I got that. So this may be for you, this video. But something, cause then I got 2542 curve. So like, somebody could be trying to curve hermit mode, or I don't know, something about curve, or you want to curve it. Curving, or afraid to escape, because then I got 2111, to tremble, to quiver, to quake. So it could just be this fear of like really having to remove people, because I also remember that being very scared, sweating to send those text messages out. And it just felt like I knew in the pits of my soul that I wouldn't be able to really get where I'm trying to be if I stayed in like the same energies that I was in, even though it hurt. And then I kept, you know, a song also that I sang so much and like kept playing for years. I mean, how long has it been now? Literally since about 2021, 2020. but it's called Once a Friend by Diana Gordon. Tell me, is it always gonna be sad now? Something till you never come back. I don't want to butcher it, but ooh, I know it don't make it right, and I still wanna wish you good. When I'm saying my prayers tonight, I think I'm gonna add you. And I don't wanna something, and I don't wanna make amends, but you were once my friend. And she also says, said I'm finally doing something myself now. I had to think of my help now. So like, and she talks about having to like move. Had to go as far as I could go, you know. Bought a ticket only going one way, and now I live in LA. I had to go as far as I could go. So there's also, there's some realities of like possession and property. I got 3424, possession, property. 3225, right hand came out again. And so it feels like kind of this wisdom of the things that you have, the things that you're used to having and holding on to, that sometimes also have to go with you, And sometimes it can also be like, I feel like you can do one part of a hermit mode and then still like haven't hermited enough, or like God's still asking you to walk away more. And I keep kind of picking that up sometimes, God's still like, you still have further to go. Like, it's a process of like, yeah, you're cutting this off, but in order for you to get where I want you to be, you still have more walking and leaving to do. And it's not easy. It isn't easy. It isn't easy. And so then I got, again, this was I got in the Hierophant video as well, 6132, to pluck up, be rooted up. Because that's what it can feel like, literally being, just pulled out of what you know and like tossed into something completely different. Completely like just a whole new energy. And it does take time, especially if you're the type, because sometimes it's like, are you an extrovert? Do you like talking to people? Do you like being the life of the party? I'm an extroverted introvert. So it's like, I don't necessarily need it, but I do like it from time to time. But I can imagine for someone who's extroverted or likes to have folks to, call on at any moment. Are we going out tonight? Maybe not. Are we gonna, somebody to just say what's up to just for a quick second? Like all that type of stuff, right? Like I feel like extroverts really thrive on that and feel joy from that. So being alone can be hard, but it's like, I don't know. Also, it depends on who you are. Because I remember like feeling this way in college. Like I needed to just run away from everybody, right? And there's lessons within that too. Because when this comes out in reverse, then you're like, you can be overdoing it, right? Or you can you're used to being a recluse, or you're used to just kind of being where you start to just not like people at all. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's just, you got to know the difference. You got to know when you need it and when maybe it's time to go out again. Maybe it's time. And I've been asking God myself, like, is it time for me to go out? Like, and I got something about building blocks, like not yet. There's like some building blocks. Because I don't really like people, I'll be honest. I don't. That's kind of what I'm doing. Like, I like this. Like, I don't like people as much as I once did. It's like, I just don't. You know, I don't. And I feel like this has a lot to do with it, doing this kind of work and the focus that it takes, or just it's like you don't need a lot of extra chatter. So, also, I feel like, not to shade myself, but that sometimes, I mean, you see what these folks have on, right? You see what's going on with the look. You see what's going on with the look, lack thereof. There's really not a look happening. There's really not a lot of zhuzh, a lot of shine. So it can also mean sometimes dimming down the drama, the extra, the just kind of like losing and letting go of a lot of things, right? So, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, I feel like it makes sense without having to say anything. Just kind of like going back to basics. I resent folk. I don't know. I just hate this because then oh my God, this is like a whole nother video. But it's like, there are people out here that like want to send folks back to the basics because they're just wicked ass folk. And it's like, I just resent you. Like, I resent your whole ass fucking attitude, you know? And it's like, there are folks that really think they're God, who really are trying to like stand in a God position, you know, and think that they can want to control how folks look. And it's like, I know if you've seen some of my videos before, I've been talking about this, of folks like trying to mess with others' beauty and do all that and like get into folks' products and just doing just really petty things. But I just resent that, you know, because as much as I like to chill, I like my products and stuff. I don't know why this is coming through, but that's just what I feel. It's like, if you like things to be beautified in your hermit mode, that might not exist. That might have to go, right? Because you might just have to pick up and leave alone and not bring everything with you. You might have to like, you know what I'm saying? And so you might not have that. You might not have the beautification stuff that you need. And there's ego that comes with that and everything else. But I don't like to see folks thinking that they're going to make somebody look like that on purpose. I resent that. I resent that so strongly. And that's the whole also with like property and possession. And another reason why you might have to leave dealing with folks like that, right? Like God already kind of pushing you in the direction of like, that's why I want you to leave. Because you have people around you that do not respect you and that want to put you through stuff I don't want you to have to continue to deal with. So you gotta go. You gotta get out. Yeah, look, 3236, bitterness. Wow, so I guess that's what I got these numbers. 2661, spotted. 366, terrible, dreadful. 1356, pit, trench. 2164, agree together. 3236, bitterness. 5226, be straightforward. Like, literally, these downloads told me to be straightforward about these fucking bitch motherfuckers, okay? Doing the most to try to make somebody, like, homeless, have pimples all over their face because they're trying to drop little dirty shit, like, coming into folks' homes and trying to drop dirty shit into people's products to make them look a certain way. These are the kind of things that make me want to fight a motherfucker. These are those kind of things. I don't like that shit. I do not like that shit. And I've been dealing with that personally. A fucking group of fucking assholes who just are so wicked, so fucking wicked and whack, and just, you know, it's like, it makes me bitter. It makes me fucking bitter. It makes me so bitter, and I just think you're trash as fuck. You need to go roll around in that trash you're trying to sprinkle in everybody else's shit. And honestly, I got something about some rolling in fucking trash, or like carrying trash, like somebody acting like somebody using trash, somebody literally like holding on to trash. And I heard it, moving trash. Moving trash. Like how folks move drugs, moving trash, like creating a whole business off of dirtying other bitches so they can stay on their top spot. And that's just sick and dirty. That's just sick and dirty. That's just sick and dirty. And then making agreements of trying to put somebody in a pit or a trench or something. And I have more stuff to say. I could say some stuff about that too. These are the same folks who then start talking about trying to bury somebody alive. These are the folks that want to toss women in trash cans. These are these motherfuckers. You see how I have to get angry? You see how I get mad as fuck? Anyways, so, and then these are the type of things that you go through that then make you want to stay isolated and away from people, which is why they do shit like this, so that you'll never feel safe again to come and live your life and be the beautiful person that you're meant to fucking be, okay? So this is that in between hermit upright and in reverse, where you have to like fight to be yourself, because you have these fucking wicked people who deserve just hell. They deserve hell for doing the shit that they do, and they know that. And I wish it for you. I wish it for you. And they know that. They hear me say that every fucking day. I wish it for you. When I think of home, I think of a place where there's love overflowing. I wish I was home, I wish I was back there with the things I've been knowing. When that makes a tall grass bend into leaning, suddenly the snowflakes that fall have a meaning, sprinkling the scene, makes it all clean. That came through today too while I was making some breakfast, so. Go watch you might need to watch my reading when you finally meet the Wizard of Oz. So you might have to scroll down. When you finally meet the Wizard of Oz. I love that song though. When that makes a tall grass bend into leaning, suddenly the snowflakes that fall have a meaning, sprinkling the scene, makes it all clean. Okay, so I also was getting with this could also honestly represent a homeless person, right? I just thought about that. Like, if that were to come out in a reading, it represents, somebody that's homeless. It could represent a stranger, like maybe somebody that you don't know, somebody that's kind of hiding, but not like Seven of Swords hiding. So then DNA codes. Then I got something about some DNA codes, and I thought that was interesting. DNA codes. Hermit can also represent your own health. It can represent you in a reading, like you, or like your own soul searching that you need to do to understand something more. But I got DNA codes. It can also be like, that you need healing, so you're withdrawing yourself from people because you're bitter, right? Like you just don't have the patience for people, or you know that when you get around people, you'll be taking your anger out on them, so you feel like you're better just kind of chilling. Flow, don't trust. Like it's just kind of like, having a hard time trusting people to come into your space. So it's kind of like, I don't want you in here because I don't want you touching anything. I don't know. It's like depending on how you are with your things, even. Like I don't know. I don't want you looking at my shit, or right? It can get that deep. Like it can just get that deep where it's like you have to work through some stuff first, before you get back out there, before you're willing to let somebody, this is coming through, let somebody like lay in your bed even, or like it's just kind of like the lacking trust. So you stay in withdrawal because you're like, I just don't fuck with people. Like I don't want you around me. I don't want you around me. I don't want you changing up my already rigid schedule. You know what I mean? Like I'm already very rigid, and like I need it to be that way because like I'm on edge already, because hermit mode can also put you, that's the cut on the knee. It's like it can be more than a little cut on the knee. It really can. DNA codes. Okay, so I want to see just what's the download with the DNA codes really quick. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm getting this Hierophant in reverse energy. Like I was talking about before, a Hierophant in reverse energy trying to purposely keep folks in hermit mode to try to hide them from other people, or, you know, they think folks don't know. They think folks don't know they're doing this shit. We do. We do. We know. Somebody also thinking that folks don't want this information or something like that. And it's just kind of like, if you don't want it, you don't have to have it, babes. But it's like, this is for people. Some people do. Some people do. You know what I mean? Like, some people really do want the information, hun. Some people really do want the information. Like, if you don't want it, you don't have to have it, love. But, you know, people do. People do. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Even trying to be in hermit mode to keep yourself away from folks like that who think they're going to pull you out of your spirituality and be something that you don't want to be. You know, it's like, these are all reasons. These are all reasons. These are all reasons. So DNA codes, I just want to get a little energy about the DNA codes. And, you know, I also say I feel like hermit mode can be, it's private, right? It's private. There's a privacy to it. So where it takes you, you know what I mean, is an individual experience for each person. Spirit about the DNA codes. DNA codes. Let me see. Kind of like your journey or whatever it is that you're meant to complete, kind of like your own spiritual upgrades need to upgrade alone, and that like being with others, because I got the world in reverse, disharmony, that it can like literally cause you disharmony to be in connection with others. a diversion from what really needs to happen, things you need to understand, right? Like things that need to make sense, things that need to be completed before you can have these connections. And then I picked up will not stop though. So I don't know. I will not stop, will not stop. Something about something. I don't know. I'm getting a couple different things. Yeah, really something about a diversion to me. Like a distraction. Or having somebody, doing this type of work with your ancestors and having somebody, you're not over there pulling more cards again, are you? And shit like that. That's literally what you're not in there pulling more cards. And it's like, the reality of having a partner and then having a dishonest partner who just doesn't want you to pull no cards because all you have to do is pull one card to find out they cheated on you, or all you gotta do is just pull one card. You know what I mean? Honestly, hermit mode is a beautiful way to get comfortable with the realities even of a connection. This was something I was watching yesterday. Hopeless Romantic Society, where he goes around interviewing people like, what's the craziest thing you ever did for love, right? And one woman was saying like she doesn't want to look through her man's phone anymore. Like she just doesn't care. Like when you're around, you're around. If you're not, you're not. And like I feel like at the beginning of my hermit mode, bitch, no. But now I get that, because it's like I don't want my peace destroyed worrying about like who you're trying to text or what you're trying to do behind my back, especially when the cards will tell me if it's really important what I need to know. So I don't know, like I feel like being alone and knowing yourself well enough to know like what you'll stand for, what you won't stand for, what's worth having a connection and what isn't for you. Like I just don't have the energy to know everyone you're texting and like whether you're just texting, what you're texting them for. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, if I've been on the other side of it where someone has sent me 2 texts and then ghosted me and I never heard back from them again, it's like, these are the kind of things that folks do. So it's like, no, I don't want to be in your phone. No, I don't want to be in your phone. I don't want to be in your phone. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't want to know. I don't want to know. When it's like I could feel without even looking at your phone whether I want you around or not. Like the feeling alone is enough for me to know if I'm feeling you or not, regardless of who's up in that device. I'm so sick of the devices anyways. I can't stand devices. Like, I'm just tired of devices in general. Using a partner as a diversion for the disharmony in your life, right? That's when you send the "you up" text, and then whoever replies first, right, gets the attention for the night because really you're depressed. That's hermit mode. That's when hermit mode is helpful, right? That type of shit. And Spirit's literally saying, like, you don't have to be discouraged. You don't have to be discouraged, that you're not talking to anybody. Like, you get to just put time into yourself and, like, and I think that's what Spirit's saying also, like, think of the real realities of a relationship. The shit's annoying, right? Like, the shit can be so fucking annoying. because people suck. Okay, people suck. Like, the reality is, it's like, people suck. Not everyone's gonna be good to you. Not everyone's gonna treat you how you want to be treated all the time. People are shit. So it's like, it's okay to be a hermit. And I think sometimes if you're in hermit so long, you forget that. And then you re-enter yourself into society and just let anybody come through. And then you remember why the fuck you were a hermit in the first place. So it could even be, you know, that you need to focus on getting yourself together so that you're ready to be around people. You know what I mean? Like, I just have the Queen of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles here. So, like, taking care of yourself, working on your creations, whatever. So, yeah. 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 So that's as I'm like hearing all of the look, clear out the energy of the negativity, whether it be my shadow or somebody just talking shit. These are the motherfuckers. That's why we're in hermit mode, because we don't like people around us that, you know, are just worried about my lips being dry, instead of listening to the information, or get the fuck out, right? Like, just leave if you don't like it, all right? Like, if the dry lips are an issue, you can go ahead and go. Get the fuck out. I'm seeing like two people going in different directions or different paths, even with this. Oh, look, now they're, I don't know if it's just the camera, the way the camera is going here. Ancestors too can relate to the hermit, you know? Like, I feel like if you were to get like the hermit and then the Three of Cups, it could be like your friends in the spiritual realm. Like, your ancestors are celebrating you, even though you're in this mode otherwise. But the way I was looking at it, these cards, and when I hold them up, it doesn't look like that really, but it's like they were turned away from each other. And that just kind of made me see like two people kind of like, you know, this is when we beep. This is what we see differently. Yeah. So I'm going to pull some of these Prism Oracle cards to end, because these are like emotion cards. So I feel like if we're talking about hermit mode and what we're thinking about internally, these are good for that, you know? Magician. The hermit can also represent a magician, right? Someone who's cloaked doing magic, right? You're not, well, no, I can't even say that. I was gonna say like you're not gonna do magic with anybody else. That's not really true, but it kind of gives me that of like, this is also giving Quasimodo. This is giving this is giving even somebody who's like on a monk, right? I'm liking this right now. This is listening to sound healing is really good also if you're in a hermit mode, because it just helps. It helps you clear out old thoughts, past thoughts, let go of things. Yeah, so I would recommend that, like going onto YouTube, sound bowls, those kind of things, or like energetic chanting. There's some folks who do the chanting, you know what I mean? And like a repetitive chant, and just kind of like getting into that is really good. And something about be still, being still, you know? Needing to be still, and like knowing what that feels like to be still. And don't let anybody ever guilt you into needing this either, because that will happen. There will be folks that are like, or like, you're just running away, or like, you just want to run away from everything, or like, you just, you know, this, that, like that will also come. You know what you need. It's like only you can make the decision, right? There are going to be people who will maybe not even enjoy your company that much, but would rather have you around. And that's when it sucks. Y'all aren't enjoying each other's company, but you rather sit there and act like you are instead of just hear the silence. Been there. It sucks because it's like we're not doing, like, you know what I mean? Just like sitting there and like mulling over old shit or old other people. You know, like talking about the same old people that betrayed us before and just still going over that, like all that. Sadness, reflection, ideation. Yeah, so being in hermit mode can also make you realize things about your life you didn't realize before. You know, those shocks of the first hermit mode. You know what I mean? That's real. Caution in reverse, things that you weren't really prepared for. And so what I can say is, you know, if you're wanting to get deeper into the stuff and knowing yourself better, this is helpful and necessary for that. So it's like you might find this video when it's time for you to take that hermit mode. And it's like, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. But I am getting sadness. I'm seeing a tear. Somebody maybe has been crying, or like just the things that they have to reflect on, the realities of certain things. And like, please know, you're not alone, even though you might have to take time to be alone. You're not. Like, it's okay. And not to say it's okay how you're feeling, or like it's okay not to be okay energy. Like, that's what I'm saying. It's okay to kind of like let it all fall and really look at what's there. Like, it's okay to do that. It's okay to do that. And like, don't listen to look, surrender in reverse. Don't listen to these folks, you know, you're never around, or like, why do you just always want to sit around? And we're like, because really, as much I've gotten that all the time, or you're not the same person anymore. Like, you're not who you used to be, because you will be different at the end of the hermit mode. You will be different. You will think differently, see folks differently. And some folks aren't going to like that, or that you changed, or why are you changing, or, you know. Just don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. You stay strong and you keep working on you. 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 There's no shame in that. There's no shame in that. There's no shame in wearing your clothing. This is my version of a cloak today. This big ass tee. Okay? Like, this is real. This is me. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be now. I'm gonna let the light glow on me. Now I see who I am. There's no need to hold it in. I'm exactly where I wanna be. This is me. So, I don't know. That came through too. I love it when the songs come through. I'm going to be incorporating those. Definitely going to be incorporating those into these. So that's the energy That's the energy of the hermit mode. That's the realities of it. That's the information about it. I kind of think of it as like even a tunnel in a cave in a way of like, you never know what you're going to see in there. Really, like that's kind of what it makes me think of a little bit too, of like, this is somebody who's walking through a tunnel. You know what I mean? This is giving that. It's giving like, I don't know where the exit is, but here I am. Here I am. You know, like, I don't know what's going on, but here I am, and like hoping I'm gonna be better for it. And like, it's not always gonna feel like you're gonna be better for it. But you will. And also, the last thing I'll say is spiritual knowledge. My lips are so dry. Spiritual knowledge is a great way to kind of entertain yourself as you're spending more time alone, right? Like, not saying you won't have to work and like do other things, but just that get like learning things, right? That gives you more power to make it through and understand yourself better is a good way to kind of fill up the time. You know, that's when you read, that's when you start getting into things and like learning runes, and like that's a part of it too. And that can be the fun thing, like make it scavenger hunt energy. Get into the tarot, because that's gonna help. That's gonna help guide you. So that's something also. Yeah. Also making your own cards, like making cards that are specific for you and like the way you speak and talk to your ancestors and like things that you remember is also good, you know? So that's all. That's all I have for you. I'm wishing you safe travels through your hermit mode. Make your ancestor altar if you don't have one already, right? Like for someone who's just entering hermit mode, get your ancestors, because they're gonna walk with you. They make it fun. They make it a little bit more fun. Like, I don't know, it's funner for me to like have connection to spirit than just kind of like, you know. And then also, I feel like the diversions, the closer you are to like completing your hermit mode, honestly, hermit mode can also represent kind of like winter as well, I'm getting. Just with that snow, and then I kind of looked outside and noticed how the trees are bare. That naturally every year, you know, there is a hermit mode that kind of happens naturally. That's why it gets darker earlier. Folks don't really want to be out that much. It's like it just naturally already is happening. Like you need that, you know? Yeah. So that's all I have for you. That is all I have. Hope it gave you some information, some confirmation, something to think about, and something to carry you through your hermit mode or wherever you're at in your life right now. Hope you had a good holiday. More power to you. And until next time, bye.